guys, Cam here from thefishroom.co.nz. I hope you're all well. Don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't be well. It's Friday and everybody loves Friday. Although it is pretty scummy and shitty outside, to be fair. Excuse my terrible language. It's definitely coming into winter here in Nelson. I'm suspecting it's pretty much the same around the rest of the world. Country, you know what I mean. Let's do coffee. It's not too bad. It's not absolutely amazing. I'm trying a new milk here, but it's okay. As per always, if anybody has anything they would like to ask, anything they'd like to say, please feel free to fire away in the comment section and we will get to them as we can. Don't have a heck of a lot to talk about today. We'll just continue with our normal admin of our shop hours are 11 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, and we're closed on public holidays. I want to touch base again on the plants, what we're doing with them, how we're doing them, and what's going on with them at the moment. So as we are coming into winter, plant growth dies down significantly. So plants that were coming in a couple of months back, this kind of size, for example, are now coming in at this sort of size. They're still healthy, they're just a lot smaller than what they normally come in at. I understand that it's disappointing from a hobbyist point of view, a purchasing point of view. It's also disappointing for me from my point of view, getting them in and going. Last week they were good, this week they're small. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Same with, 1 week this will be available, the next week it's absolutely gone. So things just slow down at this time of the year. It's unfortunate. It's just the way that it is. I wish we could do it another way, but at the moment, with my understanding, most of the growers grow their plants outdoors and they're completely reliant on the sun and the warmth. So it just can't be for the time being. I'll do my best to get things removed from the website when it comes to plants as soon as I find out they're not available. So every Friday morning, all my plant lists come out. As soon as I see they're not available, if we don't have some in stock, I'll just completely remove them from the website. As soon as I see them available again, I'll put them back on. Prime example was hair grass. A couple of weeks ago, there was none. Now there's some. Limited amounts, but there's still some hair grass available now. And that brings us to the way we send our plants. We've discussed this before. We send them in satchels, just like this, or very similar to this. There's no bubble padding on them. There's no cardboard in them. They literally get sent in this and in a plastic bag, unless your orders are too big to go in it, or it comes with other stuff. And then we'll go towards a box or a carton. The reason behind this, there's several reasons. One, when we send them in a satchel, they generally turn up overnight. Even to rural areas, they generally turn up overnight. Not all the time, but most of the time in a satchel, things get from me to you overnight. When it goes in a carton, that could take upwards of a week. So I know from testing that some plants can handle a couple of weeks in transit, other plants can't handle that much time. So we put them in a satchel because it gets you a lot faster, which means there's less chance of those plants that are arriving to you turning up all mushy and gross. The flip side, of course, is there's no protection for them. They can struggle a little bit with a little bit of damage every now and then. They might get crushed and things like that. That is a risk that we're willing to take, and we're more than happy to either refund people or replace the plants if that's what happens. So we send upwards or around about 70 to 100 packages of plants a week, every week, and we'll be unlucky if we get sort of 2 people have an issue with their plants when they've arrived. We've had 3 issues in the last 2 weeks, and prior to that, I don't think we had any issues for about 5 or 6 weeks straight. So it does happen. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, because it does happen. Plants will get damaged in transit, but it's very rare. It's unfortunate if it happens to you, but again, we're more than happy to work something out, whether it's a refund or whether it's a replacement. It just is what it is. We've also had a few people ask us or tell us that we should be sending our plants in plastic containers. Again, a couple of reasons we don't do that. One, it's just more plastic that's going to be wasted once it arrives. That's it. You basically ain't going to use it again for any other reason. 2, like I said, we're sending between 70 and 100 packages of plants a week. That is a lot of plastic containers that we'd be having to send out. Another reason behind that is we were originally sending them with plastic containers. They actually often got crushed as well. Once they got crushed, the air got into them. When the air got into the plants, dried out. So again, we're also talking about other damage that's going to happen to plants. It's not necessarily protecting them. Well, it's protecting them from sort of damage, but it's not necessarily protecting them from being ruined when they arrived or dried out when they arrived. when they're in a plastic bag, the bag doesn't pop, which means there's no way that air gets to them, they get dried out. And the other reason we do that is, again, sometimes plants turn up this size, sometimes plants turn up this size, depending on what you order, and sometimes plants turn up this size or even bigger. So there's not a lot of chance that we can get a plant this size into a plastic container. So there's a few reasons why we don't use plastic containers. I know it's not ideal, and I would like to try and find another system, but for the time being, that's what it is. We have looked at trying to find cardboard boxes that slot into the satchel bags, but I couldn't find them. If I could find something that I could get into a satchel bag, that would be the ideal winner. So you have your bags, and a plastic bags, so again, they're keeping nice and moist, they're not getting dried out, and then that would go into a box, and that box will then go into a satchel, so it becomes overnight and it has that protection. But at this point, I have not found any boxes that I can do that with. They're all too high or too wide. I haven't found the right one. If I do find them, then we will look absolutely into running that way. But for the time being, that's just what it is, unfortunately. So very sorry about my little rant. It's just quite a prominent thing that happens quite regularly. So I just want to continue to reiterate. Is that a word? Just continue to let everybody know that's how we do it and why we do it. So we've had some new fish in this week, including a box that is still sitting at the back that I have not unboxed just yet. So we're in for a treat. Once we finish with this live stream, I'm going to be going live with an unboxing as well. So this week we have had some very, very beautiful neon dwarf rainbow fish come in. They are looking phenomenal. Already got that beautiful blue shimmer to them that the neon dwarf rainbows get. A little bit of red over on the fins as well. They are very, very nice looking fish. Good size as well. Often they come in quite small. These are a good size, so hopefully they get through the next couple of weeks, no issues at all, and they'll be ready to rock, but they are looking really, really nice. We also got in some gold rams. We haven't had them for a few weeks. Again, they're looking quite nice. They're a decent size. A couple of weeks of feeding up on some brine shrimp and some rapashi, and they will skyrocket in size, get nice and chunky monkeys. So they're looking really good. We've got some keyhole cichlids in. It's the first time we've had them in the shop. Keyholes are really cool little fish. Relatively good community fish. Maybe on the side of caution when it comes to things like guppies and that kind of stuff, but tetras are normally okay with them. Corridors are absolutely okay with them. Fine with plants and that kind of stuff, so there's no dramas with them. We've got some blue gouramis in. We spoke about blue gouramis being an invasive species over in Peru on last week's coffee date when we were speaking to Dr. Anthony. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. We've got it on YouTube. Well and truly worth the hour of your time. It was a phenomenal talk. But we've got some blue gouramis in as well. We've got some scarlet batis. First time in the shop we've had them. I've had them before. They are really, really cool little fish. Totally little micro predators. Don't play all that well with others, but yeah, they're a great little fish. And in today's box of fish that we'll unbox once we're done with this, we have some phenomenal plicos. We have a couple of green phantoms. We've got some blue phantoms. I bought some more electric blue rams, so they'll be good to go. I also bought some green neon tetras, which we haven't had before, so I'm excited about them. And I'm not going to completely spill the beans, but next week we should be getting some other pretty fancy plicks coming in as well. So we've got a tank or two designated for them as well. Hopefully we'll get them Monday or Tuesday, so we've got some more fancy plicos coming as well. So if you didn't know, I'm a fan of the plico. So I'm very happy that we can be providing some very nice catfish for people because I really enjoy them. And to answer the question about the freshwater shrimp, no, we don't. Like Brian said, we can only have the natives here, which we catch ourselves. But as far as the amanos and the cherries and all that kind of stuff, we don't get them here. They're not allowed to be imported, as cool as they are. I'd like to thank everybody for the tips that you have been doing when you are on our website making a purchase. Every time everyone does a tip, we are using that as a donation to the Aotearoa Lakes Conservation Group. We had them on one of our streams about 6 or 7 weeks ago. So if every cent that you, the hobbyist or the consumer, donate to the cause, we're putting in exactly the same cent as well. So we donated just under $250 earlier this week. So that's for the last couple of months. So I'd like to thank everybody for your donations into that cause. I know the guys are really excited with it. So I'm sure they'll use that wisely and get some more research going around the lakes here in New Zealand. So thank you everybody who has donated to that. We're still going to keep it going. So every couple of months, everything will be tallied up, and we'll put a donation forward to you for you to them on behalf of you, the hobbyists. There we go. I got there eventually. So thank you everybody for that. It's greatly appreciated by them, and it's really cool to see. Really see that you guys are digging into that as well. Not a lot left to go on my list. I'm also aware that I am behind in releasing the podcast from last month, and we're pretty due to have this month's one released as well. So I'm going to work very hard today and get both of those podcasts ready to go. Hopefully one released today and the next one in about a week's time. I'm sorry for everybody who is waiting, or if anybody is waiting for them to come out. I've just been pretty swamped down here trying to make everything work and get it all going. They're ready to go. I just need to do a little bit of minor editing. That tastes like bourbon. It's kind of unusual. You just need to do a little bit of minor editing and put an introduction on them, and they're ready to go. So not too much to go, but a little bit. So like I said, fingers crossed I can get that sorted this morning or in the next day or two and get those podcasts ready to go. So for those that aren't aware, we do a podcast. It's the Aquarium Frenzy Podcast. So it is basically when we do our Friday Finatics coffee dates and we have a guest on that we talk to, we put that into podcast form as well. I'm aware that some people like to just listen and other people like to watch and stuff like that. So we put that into a podcast so you can listen to the interviews of the people, of the experts and the hobbyists that we have on our shows. So you can listen to that whenever you want. And also, this obviously gets streamed live onto YouTube, but it also stays on our YouTube channel as well. So if you are wanting to rewatch some of the interviews we did, like I said, we had Dr. Anthony in last week, phenomenal interview. You can watch that in your own time as well. It's kind of neat that you can go through these archives of what we've done and watch the interviews of people that we've spoken to and things like that. So, working very hard to get somebody on for next week. If there's anything that people would like to see, or maybe not people, or if there's people you'd like us to talk to, that'd be great. You can give us some ideas and we'll try and contact them. But if there's any particular themes that you guys want us to talk about, or find people that experts in that field, please fire away, and we'll see what we can do. Again, we do the interviews and everything as much as it's great fun talking to these people and enjoyable and learning as well, but it's also for everybody out there who's watching and enjoying it as well. So there's no point of us interviewing Macho Man Randy Savage where it has no relevance to what we're doing and nobody really cares. We're interviewing someone or talking to someone who is phenomenal at breeding dwarf cichlids, for example, and everyone's really interested in them. It makes far more sense. So that's what I have in here. Just a slight update of the shop tanks. The signer has been and gone. They have remedied what was wrong with it. So we'll go through and hopefully get all the plumbing sorted this week. So we need to get the plumbing sorted, get a couple of sumps made, and get the pumps and the UV filters sorted. So hopefully that'll be done very soon as well. First thing first is get all the plumbing organised, get all that sorted. Once we've got that under control, we are moving along and hopefully get a second rack of fish ready to rock and roll for everybody. That is all that I have for today. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy my coffee in silence. I'm joking, I'm not going to sit in silence. So if nobody has anything else they want to talk about, that's fine. We can jump off this and I'll get the next live stream ready for our unboxing video for a treat. To unbox 2 live stream videos in one time. So if that's it, we'll let you all go. We'll see you all on the next live stream, which is only on Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. We don't stream the unboxings to YouTube. We have considered trying to stream them onto Instagram as well. We're just not sure if that's worthwhile or not. We just do the live unboxing videos on Facebook. So we'll see everybody in about 5 minutes. Have a good one, team. Happy fish keeping. Catch you all later.